And we are back. The Boone Avenue Walls Foundation is celebrating its 10th anniversary year. They use graffiti for urban renewal, community empowerment, and environmental education. A new book, Beautifying the Bronx, Boone Avenue Walls, chronicles the growth of this artistic movement with stunning photographs and tributes to the many generations of artists who've contributed. Joining now, we've got the Boone Avenue Walls Foundation Corp's founder and curator. We've got WEN COD with us, and thank you so much for being with us.
How's it going? How's it going?
I'm going good. How you been?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Listen, when we talk about graffiti, obviously, the borough has a particular flavor for it, right? There's some who do, some who don't, but then actually, yet and still, it's a part of like urban renewal.
Well, there is definitely a stigma to it that it can be negative.
Right.
And so what we've been doing for the last 10 years is we took a section of the Bronx that was initially, neglected. It was a warehouse district, but it was also residential. So everyone had to pass through those neighborhoods and get to their schools or go about their day. And so about 10 years ago, I got permission from one of the landlords, the Good Old Distribution Company on Boone Avenue, to do a commission job. And while doing the commission, I asked him if I can do the whole facade, which is about 350 feet, basically the entire block.
Right.
And so he agreed. And so I invited 22 of my friends to come out, and we put up some nice murals, and it lasted. It looked nice. And so we did it again the next year. And we did it again the following years. And every year that we did it, more people would come out and greet us and say thank you. And the neighborhoods are nicer to walk through now. There was a lot of vagrancy and drug dealing on that warehouse block, and still it was a corridor to pass through to get to the schools.
And we're looking at it right now, and some of the work that's been done. How long did this take to come together?
Well, the event took 7 years before I realized we wanted to make it an actual not-for-profit type of corporation where we could, maybe get the community involved. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, we were just doing it on our own and just doing beautiful artwork on the walls. Usually it takes 2 to 3 days for a completed mural, maybe 30 feet, maybe 20 feet high. That's actually about, that's a large wall. That's over on Bruckner,
right,
by the McDonald's. So we cover a lot of areas in the Bronx. We have 2 main areas in Mott Haven on 132nd Street between St. Anne's and Brook, on the Food Fest warehouse, where it also was covered with a lot of like unsightly graffiti. And so we covered it with murals. We did the same thing on 134th Street between St. Anne's and Brook at the Penna Plumber warehouse. And again, this is a community where people have to walk through every day to get to the train, to get to the food market, and it was just kind of like battleground looking.
Right.
And I think now it's more an art walk. You can actually enjoy it.
And when you talk about art walk, these artists, I mean, they're participating. They're saying, "Listen, I want to contribute my gifts and my talents here," and it goes to the beautification of not just the building, but also, the borough.
Well, that's, I think, one of the advantages or one of the good things of our event is that we have artists that date all the way back from the 70s painting with us, as well as artists that may have just started up to 5-10 years ago. And so there's generations of artists that are now meeting each other and, just having conversation, also reaching out to the neighborhood people that come out from the neighborhood get to meet these young artists or these, veteran artists. And also the children in the neighborhood are inspired and ask a lot of questions. And there's actually artists that are painting now at the event that 9 years ago, they were a little too young and they just came up and asked for some autographs, and something happened and they are now artists traveling the world and doing commissions.
There's a lot of community impact that happens because of this, right? Because when people see this, there is this revitalization, if you will, because you've taken sometimes a dilapidated structure, transformed it, right? And then at the same time, you also have community that just gives you that energy.
That's kind of exactly it. So the neighborhoods were ignored, and we started doing our festival every year. We gathered 22, 40, 60. This year we had 160 artists. And what that does is it lets people in locally, really tight in the neighborhood. Not everybody goes out in the boroughs and spends money. You know, some people are not able to, so they have to kind of like stay regional. And there was nothing there happening. It was just warehouse, and it was kind of despairing. And so doing the event actually has people looking forward to it every year, and we communicate often with local community leaders about this. And there's definitely an energy and a momentum going forward with it. We've gotten expansive. We expanded a lot from just the 350 feet to over 3,000 feet of mural space. So we cover from the Cross Bronx Expressway to Jennings on Boone Avenue. We cover Vice Avenue from 174th Street to Boston Road. And then you walk maybe 3 blocks to Whitlock Avenue, which for 50, 60 years has just been really dark and dirty and grimy. Well, if you walk there now, you'll probably want to stay there for a few minutes to look at all the artwork that we put up on the walls there. It's been a change.
And talk about the artwork. I see a book in front of us. Let's talk about it.
I do. I have the book with me. Beautifying the Bronx Boone Avenue Walls. This was put together by my friend Kurt Boone. He's the author. And it basically chronicles the last 2 years. This particular book is only the last 2 years of the event. And it's just full of camaraderie, pictures, people meeting for the first time. We had a lot of friends and people come from overseas. So we had people from Japan, we had artists from Brazil, we had artists from Germany, we had artists from England, we had artists from Norway travel into the Bronx to make their mark, to make, you know, to get claim for fame.
Yeah, and I mean, the culture. I mean, it's great to see. You talk about these international artists who come in, and then you have the local community, this whole vibe, right? I think, isn't that really what community is about? You got local, you got national, you got international, and all this under, in one neighborhood, beautifying one neighborhood and bringing art and culture to the community.
It is something to behold. So I started this basically on my own with help from my friends, Ovi, Souls, Silo. These guys all from the beginning helped me organize with other artists and organize cleaning the walls and actually cleaning the streets. We do a lot of that too. So not only did we just come and paint, but we actually trimmed the shrubs, picked up all the trash physically, put 30 trash bags on a corner for the Department of Transportation to pick up on their pickup day. And it made a visceral impact. You can see the difference. And people like that. It's something that we did. We kind of policed ourselves. That's also kind of the idea, that this is coming from the grassroots. There's no bureaucracy, there's no budgeting. We all pay for this on our own, and that's our mission. The goal eventually, I think, is to make this an actual destination site in the Bronx. So as if you would want to go to the Bronx Zoo or the Botanical Gardens or Yankee Stadium, you may also want to take a really pleasant art walk in the South Bronx in 2 locations, one or the other.
Right, and there you can check out either or and see some great work. And as we say, great work of art.
Great works of art. Great works
COD,
of art.
thank you so much for being with us. If people want to get the book, how do they go about that?
Well, right now the book is only available hands-on. So if you contact us via our Instagram or our Facebook, you should be able to contact us and we'll make arrangement. We ship out the books. We have shipped out the books.
Okay.
And I just wanted to mention some organizations that have been helping us.
I got to run, so you got to say it real quick.
Okay, Projectivity, Thrive, YMPJ, thank you very much for all your help.
All right.
Boone Avenue Walls, thank you, everyone.
WEN COD, getting it all in here. Listen, now, if you want more information, visit the website, BooneAvenueWalls.org, and we encourage you don't go anywhere because we got more open coming up right after this.